It all comes down to the money. Whether it's rainy, snowy, sunny, funny, but it all comes down to the money. We're in it for the cash, we're in it for the cash. Where are we? The 1990s. What a era for music. The 1990s was our 1960s. You know how people talk about the 60s being this cultural area of music where music just went on to another level and everybody was just vibing on something in the air, in the ether. The 1990s was that for rap, for the rap music and for reggae music. You know, it was, when I look back at some of those beats from that time and you compare it to what's happening now, I think, how did we lose our way? You know? But it all comes down to the money. It's funny, but it all comes down to the money. You know, and I was thinking about Flickr, because I got an email from Flickr saying that by the end of this year, Flickr's no longer going to be free. You know, that space for photographers, that space that we use to upload our images. Some of us use it as a holding space. Some of us use it as a kind of like a website, our own website. I use it as a holding space when I do events. I take pictures and I may upload a load of pictures. I upload a load of images to Flickr and then I'll put it in a private folder and send the link to the client so that they can have a look at the images and yay or nay or whatever. And I'll generally tend to leave them up there. But I have other images up there, just personal ones, that I've had for years. You know, and it's been a great little space doing what it does. Flickr. You know, a lot of people don't admit that they use Flickr for whatever reason, but for me, it's a great little space. So now I hear by the end of this year, they've sent their ultimatum that by the end of 2018, it's all going to be pro. You have to pay. You know, it's subscription. You've got to pay. I think it's $35 a year, which isn't a lot of money, but you know, when you're used to having something for free and then all of a sudden it's taken away, it's hard to get your head around that paying for what you used to have for free. So I'm in contemplation now whether I should bounce from Flickr, because I know a lot of people's going to be leaving the space and just finding other alternatives, or do I stick with it? What do you reckon? What do you do? You know, it kind of reminds me of MySpace back in the day. Remember MySpace back, say, 2005, 2006, when MySpace was popping. Everybody who was anybody in a creative, cultural, you know, leaning had a MySpace. And it was really popping and doing the thing. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Facebook came. And MySpace just went nosedive, crash and burn. Yeah? And could a similar thing be about to happen, but with Flickr? It's interesting, because although, you know, there's nothing wrong with them making money. Everybody wants to make money. We're all out here to be professional and make money. But the thing that gets me about what they've done, they said they're going to delete anyone who doesn't go for this full-scale pro version, subversion. They're going to subversion. That's interesting. Subversion. They're going to delete. They're going to leave only 1,000 pictures and delete everything. Indiscriminate. Just wipe everything off. And that hurts, man. Because I've always kind of thought of Flickr as a digital legacy where images will be there forever. You upload something onto Flickr, it will be there forever. And maybe in 50 years' time, 100 years' time, way after I'm gone, maybe somebody will discover some of my images. And maybe my images will mean something in the future. That's always been the thing in the back of my mind. It's a future-proof kind of space where stuff's just there. It's kind of like, you know, they say they went to the moon. This is the conspiracy bit. You know, NASA said they went to the moon, right? They went to the moon and they flew up there. It was Apollo 11. And they landed on the moon with the lunar module and, one small step for man and one giant leap for mankind and all that kind of stuff. And they put all these probes in the moon and stuff. And then when they left the moon, all that stuff is still there, allegedly. All that stuff is there forever. So in 100 years time, 200 years time, 1,000 years time, when aliens finally make it across the gamma quadrant or whatever it is, and they land on the moon, if the human race is no longer in existence, that stuff's still going to be there, right? They can learn something based upon what has been put there now. And I've always seen, the online virtual space as that kind of space. And now, because of money, that's all going to be wiped. Our futures are no longer secure. And even if you pay the subscription, the minute you die, your sub will lapse. And they're wiping your images. They're going to wipe them. So, it doesn't leave a good feeling. And I get it why people won't want to pay and bounce somewhere else. Although what they're doing isn't wrong, technically. It's not wrong. It's a tough one, But another thing that really kind of rocked me is, what if it's a success? This new move to this pay-in space is a success, and then other providers like YouTube decide to go down the same route. We're going to delete all your videos that you've put up since day dot, unless you pay a subscription. It's kind of like a ransom, right? We got your baby. And if you don't pay, she gon' get it. That's what it feels like. Flickr, it feels like a ransom, man. That ain't good. That's not good, So, it all comes down to money. I understand that, and we all want to make money. What do you think? What are you going to do? Some of you have Flickr out there. What are you going to do? You going to pay the $35 that keeps it going for now? Or are you going to bounce to somewhere else? What are the alternatives? I mean, I've been so busy just doing what I'm doing, I don't even know what the alternatives are, if there are any. Put something in the comments. Help a brother out. Because it all comes down to the money. Just imagine if those who own the moon, the people who live on the moon, the moonians or whatever they're called, the clangers, that's it, the clangers, they're the ones that live on the moon. So imagine the clangers phoned up NASA and they said, listen, you left all this stuff up here, this lunar module and stuff sticking out of the moon, and unless you pay a subscription, we're going to wipe all that stuff off the surface of the moon. It's going to be like you would never hear. What if they did that? You get what I'm saying? You get where I'm coming from? It's not good, man. But understand, it's all about the money. Whether it's rainy, snowy, sunny, funny, but it's all about the money. We're in it for the cash. It all comes down to money. What you gonna do?